Alright, so I'll show you guys how I do my sidechain real quick. As you can see, I have a ghost kick right here that I have turned off in Ableton. And basically, like everywhere I have a kick and a snare, I'll put my trigger in, and it's like serves as my main component of my sidechain. I'll show you how I make it real quick. I'll drop in an operator, and I'll make it white noise. Sorry. Draw in a MIDI clip, put a note in anywhere, make it legato. And then you're going to want to freeze that operator, make a new audio track, drag it down. You can delete the operator. Then you're going to want to take this gain inside of that and bump it up a lot, so it looks like a nice fat sausage. Next, you're going to want to make the grid 132, and you only want like 1/32, or however you say it, of that for your trigger, because you want your trigger to be as short as your kick, and kicks are like super short. So basically anywhere I have a kick and snare, I'll put my trigger like throughout my project, and everywhere that I have like my kick and snare, it's triggering. So I usually keep mine on the top. We can call this trigger, turn it off, and then, like for example, like if I put in a kick, actually fuck, okay, yeah, we're good. Basically, kicks are like super short, so you don't need a long side chain. Like that's like the main part that you want being ducked. It's like super quick. So that's why you put the grid on 132. So after that, I'll take like all my groups. I don't sidechain everything the same, but like for my bass groups, like with my serums, I want those being sidechained pretty hard, especially during the drop, because I want my kick and my snare to like really punch through the mix, like really loud. So basically, I'll take a compressor, I'll put in a new one so you guys can see how I do it, and I'll put the ratio all the way up, the attack all the way down, take the threshold and bring it all the way down, and then make the release 35 milliseconds. Hit this for sidechain, and then for the trigger, select trigger. That way it's receiving the input from your ghost kick, but your ghost kick has to be off because you don't want to hear that white noise. And pretty much what that does is, like, every single time one of these triggers are hitting, like, my basses are sidechaining so hard. Like, every time, like, you'll be able to see it, it's like crunches down and makes like the hardest dip. Now obviously, like, you don't want to use this method with this extreme of a sidechain, like for, I don't know, let's say your hi-hats, because it's just gonna, you don't want your hi-hats to like duck that much. It's like you want them to be sidechained, but you don't want them to sidechained as heavy as like your mid basses and stuff. So when I'm doing sidechain for other groups, I'll mess with the threshold and not have it as intense. But for my mid basses, I want it like as intense as possible, because I want to be able to hear my kick and my snare. So I'll show you guys what it looks like in one of my projects, like in action, so you can kind of see how the compressor is working. Okay, so see, I have my ghost kick up here turned off, and I have a trigger on all of my kick and snares, super short, same method. And then for like a mid group, for example, this compressor, same settings, ratio all the way up, attack all the way down, threshold all the way down, sidechain selected as ghost kick, and like you'll see how hard it's sidechaining, like especially during my drops. So let me mute my mic real quick.
Powerful impulse.
And you can see that shit, it's like crunching so hard, like making it like duck hard as fuck. So if you actually switch the compressor to this view, you'll be able to see it. And like the duck is like really ridiculous. It goes all the way down to take out all the sound. That way your kick, or like in this, like my kick and my snare, it's like punching so hard through the mix. So if you watch it, it's like that's what sidechain really should look like, especially with dubstep. It should be that intense. Yeah, I figured I would show you guys how to do that since the video got deleted on YouTube, but I took this method straight from Sudden Death. This is exactly what he does. So I found that it works good for me in my projects, but yeah, use it if you want.